Anytime Maritime.
Anytime Maritime. It's Anytime Maritime.
Good morning everyone! Magandang umaga Pilipinas and welcome aboard another episode of Anytime Maritime. As usual, ako po si Mary Ann Pastrana at ngayon po we are going to play a very special recorded live stream of a conference with a powerful theme anchored in excellence, the new era of Philippine maritime innovation. As our maritime industry navigates through uncharted waters of modernization, sustainability, and global competitiveness, we're here to explore how Filipino excellence continues to lead the way from breakthrough technologies to progressive leadership and green initiatives. We're setting sail into a future with purpose and pride. So, sit back, stay tuned, and be part of the wave of change shaping the future of maritime in the Philippines. Alam niyo naman po, dito sa Anytime Maritime, bit-bit po namin kayo sa lahat ng mga ina-attenda naming mga conferences at sana po marami po kayong matutuhan sa mga conference na piniplay dito sa Anytime Maritime. Again, this is Anytime Maritime where every conversation sets the course for progress. Thank you for being part of Anytime Maritime and continue to keep in conversation with us, intelligent conversations here at Anytime Maritime. Enjoy! Ngayon naman po, ipi-play natin ang part 2 ng conference na nirecord po natin, ang Philmarine Conference, which happened last June 2025. So I hope you still learn a lot in part 2 of this conference. Again, Anytime Maritime!
For the perspective of one of the world's largest ship registries, giving information on the issuances of EEXI certifications, let us welcome Captain Antonio Ramos Austria, MSBM, Vice Consul of the Republic of Panama in the Philippines. Let's give him a round of applause.
Okay. Good evening. Okay, my name is Captain Antonio Ramos. I'm a master mariner, and also I am a vice consul for the Republic of Panama in Philippines. Some of you already know me because 20 years ago I used to work here. So already I see you a little different, white hair. But we already have a good relationship. Some others are new, don't know me, but I want to thank for this invitation, especially to Marine Industry Authority Marina, Ship Managers Association of Philippines, and Marine Technical Superintendent Association of Philippines. It's a great pleasure to be here and express our highest appreciation and esteem. And the main reason why we are here is to offer you our support, assistance in this from this our administration, Panama administration. you have the full support from the Panama Embassy. We have the Honorable Ambassador here, sitting there, over there. We have Rafael, ambassador name is Eduardo John Berce, and we have the Panama Authority represented the technician, the engineer Rafael. Okay, we are a team. We are a team here, ready to support you in anything you need. Anything. You need anything about ship registry, you need anything about certification, you need anything about technical question inquiries, we are here. I come here to tell you that directly, face to face. So just some of you, because in the previous past we don't have ambassador, no, we don't have support. So I want to tell you that we are here. We are here to assist you. Okay? Especially next, mom. Okay, next. Okay, especially we have a brief introduction of that remind you something you know already. Yeah, we are the biggest ship registry in the world. You are the biggest manpower in the world. Even we are a good partner of the IMO to comply with those regulations. Without your assistance as a crewing, for them are impossible to carry on all their strategy and plans. Also, we are the administration of the biggest ship registry, so the class society recognized by Panama are the one who finally issue the certificates of the new regulation. Okay. Next. Okay. Something more I want to. Panama have about 8,500 ship registry. In our ships, we have more or less close to 400,000 Filipino on board. This is a good cooperation from the both countries. You see here, I mentioned I show you the annex from the IMO because if we connect the annex with the EEDI for the new ships, okay, you will notice that the new ships already involve all annex, but the annex that we are talking to this afternoon is the number 6. The number 6 is about the pollution of the air. This pollution of the air is the big concern from our administration, from the IMO, and from all shipping industry. Okay, the prevention of the air pollution from ships. Okay, you notice we have several pollution through the last 200 years. The last 200 years we have several incidents that the oil generation knows from different ways, especially for oil spill. If we remember, we have the motor vessel Torre Canyon, 1967. They have a big oil spill, 120,000 metric tons of crude oil. We have the motor vessel, motor tanker Argo. Also, they have a big oil spill. We have the motor tanker Sancinera, motor tanker Unquillola, and the worst experience we have is the motor tanker Exxon Valdez, that have a big losses from our ecological tourism and environmental from Alaska. So they have losses of more than 300 millions US dollar. So all these losses, the shipping industry been fighting hard to focus and find a way how to solve this problem. That's why IMO implement the Annex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we are the number 6 Annex with next number 6, especially we call the greenhouse gases that I will show you here in the presentation. The greenhouse gases, you see it in the left side. The greenhouse gases is a normal, natural way the earth use the gases, CO2, methanol, and others. And because our human pollution enhance the greenhouse effect. So now the solar radiation just being attracted because of the human pollution. We attract all those solar radiation and we keep in our atmosphere, warming our atmosphere. That is the main reason why the IMO makes this Annex 6 about the air pollution. So the IMO have different guidelines, reference resolutions for the EEDI and EEDX for existing ships. The IMO also have strategies that start from 2011 to 2015. According to the IMO, on 2050, we will be free of this pollution if we follow up all the instructions, recommendations, and rules to carry out this problem. Next. Okay. What's that? This okay. Okay, IMO strategy as a mandatory IMO reduce the carbon intensity of the international shipping. The vision and mission reduce the greenhouse gases emission from ships starting 2011, okay, and end 2050. This is the IMO strategy. The IMO mandatory regulation entered in force, okay, this June 2021 through the resolution MEPC 32876, Marble Annex 6, finally entered in force November 2022. Okay, related with our flag, related our administration, Panama administration, okay, the IMO through the resolution being adopt through the resolution number 107 IMO 256, okay, May 24th, 2022, we implement our this regulation in our administration. The Marpol Annex 6 new requirement shall enter into the force on 1st November 2022. Okay. Role of the recognized administration. Okay, number one is the recognized organization only authorized to issue the EECEC on behalf of Panama. The IEEC issued by recognized organization shall be reported as the provision of the MMC 324. Fees imposed by the Panama administration has started according to the Regulation 76/2021. Now, my colleague, he will talk to you about the technical matters about the roles and recognition of the administration. Okay, Mr. Rafael. Okay, thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. I know that it's like a little late. I know someone of us feels sleepy. I will not take too much of your time. I know that today has been a long day, and we have been like having the same information over and over. So I will just try to make it quick and in the best way for you to understand what are the procedure for Panama flag regarding EEXI, EEDI, and what we know the International Energy Efficiency Certificate. So just wait until the presentation is done. I would like to introduce myself. I am Engineer Rafael Iseric. I am the Regional Chief for the Segumar office here in Manila. The Segumar office in Manila is the Safety and Security Office of the Panama Maritime Authority. So, now that I introduce myself, can you go back, please? Yes. Yes. First, I just want to share with you what are the objectives for me today and for you. My objective is to provide to you a comprehensive understanding of the compliance requirements for the Energy Efficiency Design Index and the EEXI for existing ships, including certification procedures, the role of the recognized organizations, distinctions between compliance documentation in accordance to Marpol Annex 6, that is related to air pollution, and also our Panama Maritime Authority Merchant Marine Circulars, that is in this case is the 257 and the 365. Okay, what are the points for the agenda? Very simple. We have the introductions to the EEDI, EEXI. I know that we have discussed that the whole day, but I will show you what are the, as per Panama regulations and Merchant Marine Circulars, the procedure for compliance and certification, the role of recognized organizations, and understanding the compliance documentation as per Panama flag. Okay, what is EEDI? EEDI is the Energy Standard Design Index that is applicable to all vessels that have a gross tonnage bigger than 400 gross tonnage. It's based on the design efficiency, and is required by Regulation 20 of Marpol 6. Why the EEDI? As per the introduction that we already have by Vice Consul, the IMO is very worried, and the world is very worried about the pollution that we are causing to the earth And that's why we have been implementing this kind of new procedures, new amendments to the international regulation of maritime, such as the MARPOL 6, the EEDI, and the EEXI, to reduce the pollution that we produce by reducing the emissions of SOx and NOx. So, what is EEXI? This applies to vessels that are already, as per the amendments, are existing vessels. Is a per regulation 23 of MARPOL 6 and is based on technical design and not actual operation. The EEXI complements the EEDI, ensuring that older ships also meet energy standards. And this is as mandated by Regulation 23 of MARPOL 6. Next please. Okay, what is the standard for Panama flag regarding the EEDI and EEXI? So, for the EEDI that is applicable to new constructions, the EEDI technical file is prepared by the shipbuilder and then is submitted to the RO for verification during the design and sea trials. And after the RO has verified that the EEDI complies with the required, the recognized organization, approved by Panama, they proceed with the issuance of the International Energy Efficiency Certificate. Only after that. So, what is the case with the EEXI? Next slide, please. The EEXI is different because this applies also to existing vessels. So, the technical file and the EPL, if needed, as we discussed before, vessels that does the EEDI attain, the attained EEXI is higher than what is required, the vessel should implement a energy power limiter that can be the ones that we were shared earlier and also the CHAPOLI. So, in cases of vessels that are not complying with the required EEXI, they should have like an EPL, and this should be reviewed by the recognized organization with also the technical files. Okay? And by the time of now, all the vessels should have already and should be compliant with this regulation. Why? Because this should have been verified in the next annual or intermediate survey of the vessels of the IAPP after January 1st, 2023. We are on June 2025. All vessels should be already compliant. But as we know, maritime business, maritime world is not that easy. We have a timeline, and sometimes some vessels does not comply with that. So there is some other measure that we implement at flag state for this kind of vessels. Next slide, please. Okay. What are the role of the recognized organization as per the Panama Maritime Authority? We have that first, the recognized organization needs to be approved by the Panama Maritime Authority as a flag state to issue the statutory certification. So, what's the second one? We have the verification of the EEDI and EEXI calculations. The RO shall perform the verification process for the attained EEDI and EEXI in the as per the outline technical file. So, as we said before, if the vessel needs to implement any kind of energy EPL, this needs to be witnessed by the class also, by the recognized organization, such as a power limitator like a CHAPOLI. And then, after all these things, if the recognized organization find or needs like some kind of time gap for it to be implemented on board, they should report to the flag state. That way we can provide to the client with a proper proper authorization letter, or what will be the procedure to take into consideration for this specific case. Next slide, please. Okay. So, as per the requirements of the organizer, they ask us, like, for Panama flag state, what's the difference between a certificate of compliance, a confirmation of compliance, and a statement of compliance? So, here is a table that we prepared, like, in order to clarify this matter. For example, the certificate of compliance, the Panama Maritime Authority considers this that as the International Energy Efficiency Certificate that is only issued after the class verifies that the EEDI and the EEXI are in compliance with the rule. And this one is the RO in behalf of Panama. Only the recognized organizations issue the International Energy Certificate. Okay, for the confirmation of compliance is a little different. For the confirmation of compliance, we use it for the CMP Part 3, that is more related to IMO DCS, that is only applicable to vessels that are more than 5,000 gross tonnage. So, after the verification, the vessel keep on board a CMP as required by MARPOL Annex 6, Regulation 26.3, and this is also issued by the recognized organization, or in this case, by a verified company, verifier. In Panama, as per the Merchant Marine circulars that we have, in this case, two bodies that can perform this kind of verification for the SEEMP, okay? That is the class, the recognized organizations, and the verifiers. So the verifiers are only two companies, okay? And the class organizations, we have a lot. All of Ajax, and then are some that are non-Ajax. What about the statement of compliance? The statement of compliance for Panama Maritime Authority is the statement of compliance for fuel oil consumption, reporting and operational carbon intensity rating, the CIE. So, once receive the recommendation from the recognized organization upon collection of the CEMP, the Part 3, if it's applicable for vessels at more than 5,000 gross tonnage, the fuel oil consumption data, verification of the 10 CII report is based in fuel consumption data reported, and the operational carbon intensity rating as per MARPOL 28.6. This is submitted by the RO to the flag state for us as a flag state to issue a statement of compliance on this. A statement of compliance for oil consumption. Okay? That's the difference. So, just returning a little, when the class and the RO have the attained calculation for the EEDI, the class is the one reporting it to the IMO. As you know, all flags should report the EEDI of each vessel to the IMO. So this task is also delegated to the recognized organization. So, sorry if I was a little fast. I know that we all have been like a long time here. I hope that this clarify for you to know like what's Panama flag procedures regarding the EEXI, and also for you to know us that the Panama flag is here for you, as Vice Consul previously said, like whenever you have any technical matter or other matter that you would like to discuss, please feel free to reach us, feel free to come to us, and we will be happily to attend you. Okay? Thank you so much. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Captain Ostra and Engineer Carillo. So now, we come to one of the most engaging parts of our program, which is the open forum. To facilitate the discussion and answer your questions, may I kindly invite all our presenters to please come back on stage and join us as a panelist. Let's welcome again Engineer Ray C. Eustaquio, Engineer Adelo Parol Jr., Mr. John Paul DeWild, Mr. Miyahara Tomohiro, Engineer Nigel Eric Fundal, Mr. Ricky Chen, Captain Antonio Ramos Ostia, and Engineer Rafael A. Sericarillo.
Be serving today as a moderator to this very important segment of this conference. And may we invite our speakers presenters to please occupy your precious seats there. So, how many speakers do we have here? Siguro. Sir, would you like to occupy the center? Sir Ray? Okay. For our participants, kindly send in your questions. And Sir Ray, you are part of the panelists, and we need your brilliant inputs to our prepared questions. So, actually, Sir Ray also has a question. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our panel or presenters brought together leading voices from various sectors and shared these challenges and opportunities, shared best practices, and discussed how we can collectively drive the successful adoption of EEDI and EEXI in our domestic shipping. Of course, the context of what were presented earlier is in the context of international shipping. But one of the purposes why we are holding this conference specifically on the topic of EEDI and EXI is because the Maritime Administration or the Marina is looking forward to cascade in our domestic shipping the policy on EEDI and EXI. So my question, sirs, my question here is this: what do you think are the biggest hurdles you foresee, or the most promising pathways forward in the implementation of EEDI or EEXI regulations in our domestic shipping? What do you think would be our biggest challenges if we will adopt these policies for our domestic ships? Anyone? This is not, what you call this? This is not required for everyone, but who would like to volunteer?
Can I first? Be the first one? To
Sure.
answer?
So saved by Engineer Reyna. Okay.
The first problem that we may be encountering in the implementation of the EEXI first. EDI, of course, first one is the concern on our shipyards. They need to be here. They have to learn from Tunesi, who has a lot of experience in the implementation of the EEDI, because these are for the new ships. And for the EXI, one concern is the sea trial results, because most of the ships here in the Philippines has lost already their sea trial results. Although there are some solutions, that can be provided, they can be assisted, of course, from the previous shipyards, if they will be asking from them, or other solutions based on the IMO regulations. Because there is an alternative, as it is mentioned in the IMO. The next one is, of course, the cost coming from the EPL and Siapoli for the ship owners because it has a cost. So those are the two things that, for me, can be a concern in the implementation of the EDI and AEXI.
Thank you, Sir Ray. Yes, from Marina.
I think from a regulatory point of view, a main concern would be the reference lines. I showed in my presentation that IMO has put a due effort in making reference lines for each ship type through statistical analysis and basically introduced the reference lines for each ship type because they are unique. There is not one size that fits all there. Those reference lines have been established for international shipping and do not necessarily apply to the domestic fleet of the Philippines. So, if the Philippine authorities are considering EDI and EXI for the domestic fleet, they have to make a thorough analysis of the existing fleet so that they can be assessed and that they can be compared on a like-to-like basis.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. And in fact, we from the Marina are really taking down notes from all the inputs since the first presentation this morning. And thank you for pointing that out on the reference lines. Yes, from Chinishi, sir?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I think for ADI, for new ships, we build new ships. I think the first struggle is the tank test because I don't know if we have tank test in the Philippines. Yeah, so I think that's the first hurdle for new ships requiring EDI, the tank test.
Thank you. From Daihatsu.
Talking about EPL. EPL is for engine maker. I think it can be installed with minimum cost. So I believe your Philippines customer, Philippine ship owner can install that one. The calculation is done by SIP, yeah, but yeah, I think it's easy compared with the SOX regulation. The SOX regulation is the VLS engine that sometimes it's trouble. But EPL is much easier, I believe.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to try to?
Okay.
From Panama, thank you.
Yes, as per Panama regulations, we have that vessels that operates domestically in national waters, they are not directly applicable to the EXI or EDI, although the administration, case by case, will implement this on the vessels. This analysis is done depending on what our fleet has. As Mr. Jean-Paul said earlier, I think that it's important for Marina to analyze what is your fleet. Mostly of the fleet here in the Philippines is more cargo, ro-ros, and passengers. That actually, on my personal opinion, I think that Marina could assess what are your fleet and adapting as long as possible as per the rule. Okay? We understand that the implementation of this kind of engine power limitators, there is different ways of doing it. It will also depend on the age of the vessels. We understand that some of the vessels here in the Philippines that are for cargo, ferry, and passengers are under the existing vessels standards. So I think that is important, to first assess what's the market, what is your fleet, and how, if it's not possible to implement to the full standard of the IMO, at least to try to reach and implement a short, medium, and a long-term plan for the vessel and the fleet of the Philippines domestic fleet to be the most compliant to the rule.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, we cannot overemphasize about studying our fleet For the information of everyone, the average age of our domestic fleet as of December 2024 is 27 years old. That's young. That's young. But our universe of 400 gross tons and above, we have 1,600, over 1,600 ships. So yes, we are still in the process of assessing, as you mentioned, assessment of our ships, the type of engines, etc. But I think earlier, Engineer Eustachio here mentioned to me that when it comes to EEXI, it is it is sort of doable somehow. It will not be difficult for our existing ships to comply with the EEXI. Is that true? Or did I get you right? Or I did have my own conclusion already?
It's just because most of the ships here are underrated already.
Come again?
Underrated.
Underrated.
If they are
Ouch.
supposed to
Okay.
run at the 100% or 75%, most of the ships, if they are running at 1,800 RPM, you can see most of the ships are already running around 1,200. And you are already underrated. So most of them can be based on the calculation from the technical file, can already be compliant on the EEXI. That's what I am thinking of. And I have to know the
We will
thoughts of the
validate it.
others.
I think, Sir Ray, we will validate it. That will be a good subject for a study, validation of the existing, the profile of our domestic ships, especially the 400 gross tons and above. All right, so do we have questions from the audience? Anyone? From my colleagues from Marina? Talagang nag-roll call ako, no? Engineer Casas? Anyway, I have some questions here. Actually, the list came from our partner, the MTSAP, or the Marine and Technical Superintendent Association of the Philippines. So there's a question, sir, and who would like to answer this? What is the difference? What is the difference between economical speed and EEXI, EEDI? Who would like, is this, the question is from Sir Ray. Yes, who would like to answer? From the gentleman from Chinishi. Nag-iisip
To add
sir.
to the question, because the purpose of the EEXI and EADI is to reduce the fuel consumption, to have an economical speed, economical horsepower. And then what's the difference between the two? Because when the ship is already, of course, the ship owners usually ask for a most economical speed of the ship. And what's the difference between the two? That's my question for, of course, the engine manufacturer, to Tunesi and everybody. Yeah, Rina here can have.
The economical speed of the vessel is determined by the ship designer, in fact. It's a compromise between the installed power and the hull form. The EEDI and EEXI speed is dictated by the formula, indirectly through the speed power curve or the required power limitation. So that is beyond the choice of the ship owner or the operator. I would say economical speed. My background is naval architecture as well. I spent most of my career in ship design, actually identifying the most economical speed of vessels. Ideally, you would run your main engines at 80 or 90% of NCR, and corresponding with the resistance of the hull. If you have to reduce that speed because of the power limitation, which is dictated by EEXI, you might not run at an optimum engine loading. We have seen cases where the engine loading actually dropped below 40% of the maximum NCR. And as one of the engine manufacturers showed, if your engine loading drops below 40%, your specific fuel oil consumption increases exponentially. So The answer is yes, there is a big difference between the EXI speed and the economical speed.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir Ray, did it answer your question? All right. Who would like to answer further, sir, from Chinishi?
Okay, just to add for the design side, even without EEDI, we already know the economical speed based on the tank test and the energy table, energy consumption prepared by the design and with the consideration with the makers as well. So there is a table like speed versus the power. So at the lowest power that you can aim for the economical speed, there is a table like that. It is being made by the basic design team with the collaboration from the main engine maker. And for the EEDI, since it is in design, it is very specific at 75% MCO. It will never change. It is at 75%. While EXI, it is on 23% from the 30% reduction. It depends. So EXI depends on the actual scenario. So it means, but most likely it will be below 75% because 75% already EEDI requirement. So if you cannot pass the EEDI requirement, so most probably you will be below the 75% already. That is your economical speed.
Thank you. Nagno-nosebleed na ako dito. Relate ba kayo? I think most of our participants are engineers and they could somehow relate with the jargons among others. But you're a moderator, unlike a beginner on these things. So the third question is the possibility of reducing EEI or EEXI after issuance of certificate. Is there a possibility of reducing EEXI or EEDI?
Revising the EEXI.
I'm sorry, it should
You already have-
revising.
You have already an EXI certificate, an EEDI. Can it be again revised or changed for a different EXI or the RPM and then the power limitations?
The short answer to that question is yes. The guidelines have provisions if there are modifications to the installation on board. The EXI calculation can be revised and the new results can be reflected in a new IEC certificate.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
that's
answer
good.
is
Yeah.
it can be revised.
Yes, it can be. Yes. Thank you.
So nothing is fixed, not cast in stone. All right, so I have a question for Daihatsu. Sir Ray, can we ask this? How much, he's asking the how much. So who would like to invest here or to, how much is the mechanical EPL kit for Daihatsu?
Just roughly, in Philippine peso, just roughly 40,000 peso, including the all kit.
40,000.
40,000, 40 pesos.
Okay.
Including, but not including, exclude engineering. Only
Exclude the installation.
yeah, procedure and that's not on the cable rope. Yes. Then certificate. This one, yeah, only. I think.
Only. Okay, take
Might
note of
be
the word only. Yes, but the long-term cost or savings, I mean, the ROI.
No, I think almost almost case is only initial payment. Then it should be okay since the cable cable lock is not released. Yeah, unlikely to be released. Also hopeful. So we provide 10 sets of the cable lock. So I think that's enough.
Thank you. So again, let me repeat that. It's 40,000 for that EPL kit. So if you'd like to know more, you can check with the booth number. What's the number of your booth? Somewhere over there. That's okay. Number 5 question. What shall be done if no sea trial result or tank test? What shall be done?
It's
For EEDI?
EXI, of course.
EEXI. Would you like to answer that, sir, from Chunichi? Or anyone from... Okay. From...
Yes, I can answer that question.
Regulatory.
Actually, I indirectly showed it in my slides. So if there are no sea trials available, if there are no model tests available, then the values of the reference speed can be approximated through a statistical formula. As I mentioned, that is not necessarily in the benefit of the result of the EXI value or the attained EXI value, but it's probably as good as it gets if there are no sea trials or model tests documented. Likewise, for the specific fuel consumption, if there are no test reports from the engine manufacturers available, which is many times the case for ships, especially the older ones before 2013, when there were no NOx technical files, no test reports available, the specific fuel consumption can be approximated for both the main engine as well as the auxiliary engines. So the EXI calculation can still be done if if the original documents of either the sea trials or the main engines, auxiliary engines, are not available.
Can we use the shop trial? The shop trial? The shop trial of the engines.
The shop trials, yeah, the test bed reports.
Yeah, test it. Can we use it?
If they are executed according to protocol and corrected to ISO requirements.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so time check. It's time to...
I have a last question.
Okay,
For the
yes.
administration, for
One
Panama.
last question.
For Panama. What's the difference between the statement of compliance, certificate of compliance that is being issued by the administration, by the recognized organization? I'm just confused of those kind of certifications.
Okay, as my last slide, okay, for Panama, because it is all delegated to the RO, so the certification for it could be the International Energy Efficiency Certificate that is actually issued by the recognized organization after verification of the EEDI and the EEXI are in compliance with the rule as per MARPOL 6. So the figure of a statement of compliance and confirmation of compliance, we use it for another kind of thing different from EEXI as per our merchant marine circulars. Like the confirmation of compliance for us will be when the verificator approved by Panama or the RO approved by Panama verifies the CEMP, and then they issue a confirmation of compliance for that specific document for the CEMP 1, 2, and 3 if it's applicable and it's a vessel that more than 5,000 gross tonnage. It is applicable for the IMO DCS. So after this confirmation of compliance is issued by the recognized organization, because for the verificator, they verify the information and they recommend the flag state to issue the confirmation of compliance. But for the RO is the one issuing the confirmation of compliance. So once this confirmation of compliance is provided by the RO attached with the CEMP, the fuel records and all the information required as per MARPOL, the flag at itself, we provide to the vessel a statement of compliance for what we call the data collection system, the IMO DCS. SOCDCS, CII. That is regarding like the CII. So that's what we have. That's specifically for energy standard, for energy efficiency standard for the MARPOL 6. Because we as a flag state, we have a statement of compliance for other things as related to IHM. So that's a different topic from today, but we have like, that's like kinda the scheme that we have for those specific certificates that are related to energy efficiency.
Thank you so much, and I hope it answered the question of Engineer Eustachio. Yes, you are a panelist and at the same time, a moderator. Pagbigyan ba natin si Sir Ray? He still have
I just want to
one
ask,
question.
of course, they are the flag administration, just to assist our administration to, on how will they, or what is your recommendation? Because it is the Philippines, the administration, it has a different setting with the Panama flag registry or the administration. The Philippines have no, for the domestic vessels, have no recognized organization who can issue such certificates for the EXI and CMT. So what is your recommendation? What is your suggestion as a consultant?
Okay. If we already work together between the ship registry and the seamans for the last how many centuries? So we can sit down and make a deal. We can exchange facilities and make a plan and work together. And we can cover this part that you don't have. Yeah, we're already working together for a long time. Why not? Okay?
Thanks for the assistance.
So can I add something?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
For this, I think that in this moment we could not provide you a proper answer or a sure answer because there is different factors involved from that. That probably we are not too aware on how the Philippine administration manage some things. We have to need to take into consideration the vessels that are less than 500 gross tonnage that are non-solas and vessels that less than 300 gross tonnage that are not applicable as per the radio certificate. So if we could have this information from your end and we can, as per the Vice Consul just said, we can just discuss it after having all the information, we can provide you some support on that. Personally, for Panama flag, we have the advantage that even the vessels that are less than 500, that are non-solas, but are bigger than 100 gross tonnage, they should have a safety certificate, not under solas, but under national regulation. So, in this moment, I'm ignorant about how Philippines administration administer those kind of vessels, because that way, those are the vessels that are in the issue. Because the vessels that are more than 500, they are SOLAS applicable and they should be and should have a recognized organization. Diba? So, and this regulation is applicable for vessels over 400. So I think that there is a space there between 400 and 500 gross tonnage that actually falls into a gray area. But again, I don't know how Philippine administration regulates this kind of vessel under 500. So, would you see the Marina Department, the Philippine administration? If you want to sit with us and we can just discuss it in further, please. Again, we are open to be to collaborate with each other, because at the end of the day, as said before, we are two countries that we have a long story together, working together as in the seafarer side, in the vessel side, and I don't think that there will be any problem on us. Probably not giving you answers or but at least like discussing you and at least like letting you know like how we deal with things for you to have some kind of information, some kind of ground for you to work with.
Okay,
Thank you.
look, so far we have a fleet with a special exemption. Yeah, there are fleets all over the world that will give exemption. We put all on the table and we can see how we can help you. It's no problem. Anyway, we bring to the, that is our work in the embassy. We bring to to the top, we bring the issue, and sure, they told us to, we are open to negotiate and to provide benefits. And we do right now with several shipping companies and fleet ships, so why not?
Thank you so much. Just a rejoinder on what the question is all about, whether the administration, whether the Marina will also adopt the mechanism of having a third-party verifier for our domestic fleet. As part of our study, we found out that there's really an economic implication if and when we will adopt the third-party verifier similar to what is being adopted for our international ships, the PRVs. But in the domestic ships, we find it that the cost implication of having a third-party verifier would really be a big challenge to our shipping companies. Now, in another side of the coin is that if and when the Maritime Administration will perform the function of a verifier, that would give us the opportunity to capacitate the Maritime Administration. And at the same time, given the direction of maritime digitalization, having a platform for the bottom-up collection of data, among others, personally, I believe that the Maritime Administration just have to perhaps come up with a pool of its verifiers and perform the function without delegating it to the third party. But that's just our study as a unit. It still depends, and since we are still in the stage of studying it, assessing it, we would need also some inputs from the experts like MTSAP, like perhaps Rina, if we may invite later in our gathering of information and data as to, part of the study is to really hear or listen to the practitioners, the experts in this specific subject. No? But right now, our policy on SEM Part 1 and 2 for the domestic ships, it states that the administration will approve the SEM Part 1. And there is no specific yet whether the approval will be through the third-party verifier or it's the administration itself who will perform it. So again, that's something to look forward to. Even if the policy is now being enforced since January 1, 2025, but be patient with us because we are also in that transition period of the policy implementation. So yeah, any question from the audience? So far, wala na po.
I'd like to ask, parang si Engineer De Dios, can I have you some words?
Engineer De Dios, kindly...
From Rina.
From Rina as well. Wow, full force ang Rina.
He knows the situation in the Philippines, that's why.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the point of view of RINA, okay, I think it is better to consider as well that you have an external verifier. So Marina can concentrate most probably with regulating the maritime industry and considering as well, even on our part, no? Because as of now, for the Philippine side, we are submitting for Philippine registered vessel international voyages. We're submitting. We are still asking the authorization from the flag if we can do the verification, and normally we submit it to Indonesia. For the time being, it takes a time as well to have the qualified verifier, okay, because it's not so easy to train and to get qualified verifiers for that matter. So I would suggest, I think for the time being, be open. Marina should be open a bit for have the assistance from the classification society. In one way, I think is you can do some accreditation for a third party verifier. That's my point of view.
Thank you, sir. With us, yes, from Rina as well.
Can
Rejoinder.
I supplement that
Sure.
answer from Rufino? I think Marina has to bear in mind the resources of verifiers. I mentioned in my presentation that EXI is a one-time certification.
Yes.
So Marina would consider whether they would train and hire verifiers for just a one-time verification for all the existing ships. It does not repeat. In the case of EXI for international shipping, within 2023, all the existing ships were verified, and nothing happens after that, unless there are special modifications to the ships. So whether you hire a big pool of verifiers just for that one-time verification, that is a consideration for Marina. And that is actually an argument for outsourcing the verification to recognized organizations such as RINA.
Thank you, sir, for the insight, and that would definitely be added to our study. I've seen, we have here with us officials from Marina. Any comment from our director? Sir? No coercion naman. I just want to recognize that you are here. But would you like to comment on the insights presented so far? Sorry, sir. Matawag. Kasi naman, sorry, you also presented earlier. So, part ka ng panel?
Thank you, Ruby. Yeah, hearing all those discussions, really, same in the Philippines, the Black State, our PRBs, seagoing ships are being certificated by ROs as our, the Ajax, probably, for those seagoing ships. For the domestic, even ISM, we are conducting the domestic. We are implementing such code. So same with this, in the Annex 6, we have a local policy or the domestic policy. Those domestic ships should be compliant starting January 2025. Again, on the transition, we really had a challenge for the verifiers. In fact, that's why we partnered with the experts, the professionals, the Filipino professionals in the association of SMAP and the SMAP, no? That with Ray here. Alongside, we are capacitating our people, our technical people. But really, right now, we have already applications on the table. Our suggestions, my suggestions actually, the team, my department, ask the management to have this function be first extended or acquired to these experts and even to the IAs, so the ROs. But we still don't have any response from top management because the top management really wanted to have our own verifiers. So that is still on the discussion right now. But yes, I'm hearing from Darina, from Panama, that even Panama, you don't have any domestic rules for this. You're exempting it. But the situation is different. Maybe we are not much of.
Thank you, Director Bobby. So,
Yeah, as the director said, I think that actually that is a very big difference about how is the behavior of our fleet and the behavior of Philippines. Philippines is a very big country. You have 7,000 islands, and mostly of all of your business is moved by water, by ships. Panama, we are a small country. We only have 75,000 square meters as territory. So the behavior of our fleet is different. We don't have as many what you can call feeders or like reefers in our country because everything can be done by land, or we don't use too much the maritime transportation as long as this is like something specialized. Not as Philippines. Philippines, you can see like a lot of vessels every day, like just not roros. You only see roros, ferries, passengers. So I think that that's the big difference between us as a country on our fleet how we behave. So I think that's the biggest challenge that you may have because your domestic fleet is so big actually. Yeah.
yes, you said it right. We have 22,000 ships in our domestic fleet, but we'd say only 7.2% comprises the 400 gross tons and above. The rest are below 400, and you have not mentioned wooden hulled or motor bancas, which is actually part of our tourism. A lot of tourists want to ride the motor bancas and everything. But just allow me to have a recap, Sir Ray. But before giving you the recap, may I invite our panelists to share a 30-seconder message for the Philippines. Okay, is that okay, Sir Ray? 30 seconds. Let's start with the gentleman from Rina. I'm just kidding with the 30 seconds. You can extend 45 seconds. So, go. All right.
I think we have no choice but to take measures for the environment. I introduced the Paris Agreement in my slides. Although maritime shipping, international trading is not a country, we are collectively the sixth biggest emitter of the world. So we have no choice but to do our part in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. And any small step, even on a domestic level, will contribute to that reduction of emissions. So, in the end of the day, we have no choice but to do something.
Thank you. No choice but to do something. Well noted.
I personally believe that actually the new regulations that are being imposed by the IMO are the objective is to reduce the pollution that we have, to have a better world, to have a world for our future generations. And I think that maybe what we plan, like to have zero emissions by 2050, will be very hard because there is different factors on there. There is like the vessel factors, the fuel factors, and I know that the maritime business is in constant evolution, and we, some way, even if it's not by 2050, I think that the objective will reach will be reached, or at least will be near the reach. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
As I mentioned, the embassy is willing to support you anything you need. We are available all the time. Yes, you are welcome.
Thank you. That's less than 30 seconds.
That's well appreciated. Thank you very much. And on my behalf, I would like to thank everybody who comes here. And this is a good discussion, a good reference, not only for the administration, but also for the ship owners. And I hope that we can help our industry, our sector, reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. And it's really very hard, and we have to comply, and that is for the future of our children. That's all.
Thank you, Sir Ray. Mehatsu.
Me too. I feel very happy since many guys, Filipino, is concerned about the environment and they really want to reduce the GHG. So, yeah, I believe Filipino can achieve this target.
Thank you. And from Chunichi, sir.
Yeah, I think we just have to do something. After all, we have do this for the future generations to have a safer, greener Earth. So we just have to work together and act together.
Thank you so much. There you go. And for our recap, as the shipping industry navigates the path towards a sustainable future, these regulations are pivotal in driving energy efficiency improvements in both new and existing vessels. And as presented earlier, the EEDI sets minimum energy efficiency standards for new ships, while the energy efficiency for existing ship index requires existing ships to meet a certain level of energy efficiency. So these regulations present both significant challenges and exciting opportunities for stakeholders across the board. From ship owners grappling perhaps with compliance strategies to technology providers developing innovative solutions, and from regulatory bodies like us ensuring consistent enforcement to financial institutions supporting green investments. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, has a part to play. And the successful implementation of these regulations requires, again, we cannot overemphasize this, a collaborative approach involving ship owners, operators, designers, builders, class societies, flag states, technology providers, and policymakers. Each stakeholder plays a crucial role in ensuring compliance, promoting innovation, and ultimately reducing greenhouse gas emissions from shipping. We are in this together, ika nga. So thank you very much, everyone.
Anytime, maritime!
Anytime Maritime.
Anytime, maritime!
Anytime Maritime. Anytime Maritime. It's anytime Maritime.
Anytime, maritime! Anytime, maritime!